in the past, in some previous interviews, you've spoken about there being a documented increase in domestic violence and abuse, especially during COVID. I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Do you think it highlights the way we form human relationships, that a certain period of confinement shows the kind of strains that exist within, especially between people and the spouses or parents and children in
Right.
particular? Or do you just think it's externality of the situation we were in, which is a pandemic, very anxiety ridden? It was killing
Right.
people, and we were told not
Hmm.
to trust people, or it was a very paranoid period as well. So, what do you think it was? Was it human relationships, or was it the pandemic
I think
itself?
you can probably guess what my answer is going to be. Is that it's a combination of both, but also it does depend on. I don't think there's a singular answer for every couple where there is an experience of domestic violence. So for some couples, yes, it will mean there are already issues there in terms of a sense of control that one partner has over the other, or distrust, or this way of this is how we manage conflict by getting physically violent with each other. So for some, that was already there, and COVID has exacerbated pre existing problems. But for other couples, it can be that COVID has introduced additional stresses that they maybe never had to deal with before, like job insecurity, housing instability, financial pressures, risk about, do we have to, if we have to take the kids out of school, what's that going to mean in terms of their educational progress? Limited resources. The kids are learning from home. There's 3 kids and we only have 1 laptop. And then I'm meant to be working at home as well as my wife. And so then these extra stresses that maybe the person's never had to deal with. And so then, they don't have those strategies that they've either needed to utilize because they've just never dealt with something as stressful as that, um, or they've just never had the practice to sort of implement those kind of coping strategies. And so then we might realize, oh, this is something, because, no matter how strong each of us are, it's like a branch or a bone in our body. You can be, let's take the bone in our body analogy. You can be very strong, have very really good muscles and stuff. But if your bone is put under enough pressure, it's going to break. Everyone's got their breaking point. And it's about being having that self-awareness to know what your breaking point is, and so how to manage things so that you don't ever get to that point ideally, or if you do, how to respond to that, because some people are also shocked by their own response when they are in a highly stressful situation. And it might be like, I shoved my son and I've never done that before, and that might be what triggers them to come and see me, and they go like, I was kind of scared of my own behavior there. How do I deal with that? Or now my wife kind of looks at me with this level of fear in her eyes, and I really don't like that. Or for others, it might be, this person's always been a little bit aggressive. It's just never been to that point because we've had other strategies to kind of manage that. But this got so bad that none of those earlier strategies were good enough. So we might need to learn some additional ones.